Hi, Zizaran here with another video, and I wanted to make a video for what happens when you finish the campaign and what do you do now? When you're a new player to Path of Exile, PoE already seems so incredibly overwhelming and there's just so much to do. Figured I'd cover what types of different content they are, which are currently worth exploring, and which really aren't. So, you've finished the campaign, you've killed the Kitava, you've lost your resists, but you still want to make sure you're resist capped. That's one of the main things. You do lose 30 res at Act 5 Kitava and 30 res at Act 10, and the number one thing you want to do is slash passives. If you do that after killing Kitava, if I was missing Piety's Pets, for example, the Act 3 quest, it would say 0 here. And then you realize, like, oh, I don't have all my quests. You're supposed to have 22 if you help the bandits, or 24 if you've killed all of them. So that's pretty important. But what about content? First off, Kirac in the epilogue, Career Shores, will give you a map. You can find maps as early as Act 7, and you'll start finding quite a few in Act 9 or 10. You might have 4 or 5. And maps is the main endgame of Path of Exile. The way this works when you first started playing now is that you start in Tier 1 maps, and now you can go all the way to Tier 16s. The map system alone is very complicated. In fact, most of the systems I'm going to be talking about are so complicated that they do all have their own video. But even right now, if you're a new player looking for some currency, I do have a video about basically all I do is you can go into a map, pop your sentinels, and just leave afterwards. But there are other systems as well. We have Delve, probably one of the least popular things this patch compared to before, and that's just because maps are so profitable and we can choose so much of the own content we want to do. Delve is like its own dungeon that's procedurally generated, and it's borderline infinite. There are a lot of rewards in here, but right now, you kind of get most of the things you really need in maps, so you will not see that many people delving. Another thing that you'll find throughout the game is Heist. Less profitable than normal, however the special heists are as profitable as always because this is the only place you can get some of the things. This is another thing I have a special video for, saying like how to level up your people or how to unlock all the people for Heist. There will be, well, these two in particular, Laboratory and Prohibited Laboratory, they are the replica heists. They will basically be like similar items to the original, but they'll be slightly different. So for example, this one is extremely valuable on softcore, not so much on hardcore. But there will be like some things in there that are just worth a large amount. And as well as the unusual gems, just running like all your replica or unusual gems ones can just so much currency. Some things to look out for in the gem ones, for example, would be prime or secondary grading lens. Other than that, honestly, you're gonna have to look up every gem. Because there are some of the gems that are worth 10 to 20x, and the primary lighting lenses are very useful too. Heist, incredibly worth running. There will be loads of map mechanics as well. A lot of these will also be accessible in form of scarabs. So scarabs is basically a fragment you put into the map device. That means you can access like a lot of the different mechanics of the game, like Abyss, Blight, etc. And a lot of these will have profitable things like Blight, obviously, will have loads of oils that you can trade with other players. Pretty much everything is connected to maps. There's no standalone endgame that you can just keep doing on its own. Another thing very worth mentioning, Kirac, he will sell you a bunch of maps and he resets each time that you do daily mission. So for example, if I do this now, this store will reset and he could sell me like a valuable map like a Cortex, which sells for a few X. Walking through this atlas and a little bit more in depth, once you get to, I think it's like around tier 5 or 6, you'll see the envoy. And once you've seen the envoy, it's either in that map or the next map. Whenever you kill a boss, the Maven will witness the fight. Then she will also give you like some sort of orb. I can't remember. It's a green item. And you just click on the map device and it'll absorb it in here and you get this button. It'll tell you here with the Maven questline, like you need to witness maps of tier 3 to 5 or something like that. It'll tell you what tier it is. And once you've done that, in a few maps after finishing that little mini fight, it's like you have to fight 3 bosses. Then you will see the envoy again at an altar. You click him and he will drop a red or a blue. I think it's just random. And then once you have done some maps with that, you will eventually get the red one. You might even have to do the first invite at the half point. And the tutorial versions are very, very easy. And once you've killed both the blue and the red boss, that will give you 2 void stones, letting you get a bunch more maps up to tier 16. In fact, almost half your atlas. The last 2 stones is from Maven herself and the Uber Elder, which are harder fights and more complicated, and you'll get to later. So I just wanted to make this short video, just giving you an idea of what to do, where to start, and there's so much more to explore, much more than a 10-minute video can say, but hopefully this helps you get started on Path of Exile's endgame. Thanks for watching, sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.